Hello all, welcome to the final part in this tutorial. In this part we're going to go over spacing and padding, so I'm just going to talk a little about the ways I do things. So basically, you want things to be spaced out on your template, consistently. So say the text up here, we want it to be, say, 30 pixels from the left. If you've got this text 30 pixels from the left, we want the text in the navigation to be 30 pixels from the left, so the left edge lines up. Same here, if this is 15 pixels, we want this to be 15 pixels. Just so things balance out, they look even, the template doesn't look disjointed, or, some parts a lot bigger than others, things like that. So when I'm doing this in Photoshop, generally speaking, I just roughly do it and then fix it while I'm coding. But one tip I've developed for finding paddings quite easily when you're designing, that is create a rectangle and fill it in with red. It doesn't matter what color, and then go into modify, contract by 30 pixels, fill this in with white. Go to blending options and add a stroke 15 pixels to the inside. Set this to, say, a luminous green, and put the opacity down of this whole thing. And if I line it up here, even though I just did this roughly, it seems to be almost perfect. If we zoom in, so this is the top 15 pixels, and then the second, creating an overall of 30. So we have the initial green banner here, just on the 15 pixels, and then you see the background for the text starts 15 pixels in. If we move this this over into the green area, we see the text, if it was lined up properly, should be another 30 pixels in, so something like that. This is my way of doing things. So if we go down here, we can do the same thing. Zoom in. The text is 30 pixels space, 30 pixels from the left. So even though the text doesn't line up with the left edge of this or the left edge of the text, if we go up here, if our logo is spaced 30 pixels from the left, it lines up with that. So this is in line, this is in line, this is on line. So it's not always possible to get everything lined up, but the key thing is to stick to a number. I tend to go for 15 and 30, but you can do 10, 20, anything like that really. I'm sure other people have their ways, but generally speaking, 15 and 30 is what I go for. Also, it's key to see down here on the sidebar, about 30 pixels from the left, 15 pixels from the right. See, it's a bit different. If I'll give an example here that I've already done, if you have, I don't often do this, but if you have, a white background overall, and you've got two columns, you have, say, 30 pixels padding on the left of the template, 30 pixels on the right, and then to separate them, you just have another 30 pixels, which is sometimes okay, and if it's got a clear background, but more common than not, you're going to have either a border on the sidebar separating the two, or you're going to have the difference in color, in which case you've actually got 30 pixel padding here, 30 pixel padding again, so you've actually got 60 pixels, which is double spaced between the two columns. So they're the things you got to bear in mind when you're calculating, what you're spacing. At least when you're coding, you should maybe have a calculator handy and actually calculate the numbers. You've got 1,000 pixel wide template, you minus 30 on either side, and then you work out the width of the columns. I mean, we did this when we were creating the guides, obviously. So if you have the 2/3, you should be able to work out what the 2/3 is minus, 15 pixels plus the other 15 pixels which go onto the whole template. So they're the sort of things that you're going to have to concentrate on. I mean, when you're starting out, one of the toughest aspects of design is going to be the spacing. Other aspect, probably color. But when you develop, you know, and you do more designs, you get used to the feel. And generally speaking, you know, you'll space it reasonably close to what it should be. But that's my tip. If you create a box like this, try and keep the paddings consistent, so line it up. If we were to do this properly, this service box would be to the right. So it's exactly 30 pixels. Same on the footer. And then you'll notice that the text on the footer lines up with the text and the content, with the same and the logo and the navigation. So that's the kind of thing you want to go through. If you need any more help or information, if you want to request a tutorial on something else, please go to the website, screencasttutorials.com, or leave us a comment on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps.